Hi and welcome back. This is Crystal from Yarn Creations. I'm here to give you another crochet video tutorial. So in this video I am going to show you how to do a simple granny square. So this is one that I made here with a cotton yarn. My intention was to use this particular yarn in the video, but I'm just going to go with a more solid color. I think this is pretty and everything, but I think just how the center it threw me off when I was doing it, so I didn't think for the purpose of the video it would be very good to use this one, because I don't know how the color would change throughout, so it just might be easier to follow along with a more solid color. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I just dropped my end on this yarn and now I don't know where it is. Oh good, there it is. Perfect. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is start with a slip knot. And then we are going to chain 5. Okay, you're going to see my shadow. I don't have my big light that I normally do. And the light outside is starting to go away. Okay, so hopefully that's not too distracting. All right, so now that we've done our chain 5, now we're going to slip stitch into the first chain that we did. So we're just going to go into there and do a slip stitch. So that forms a ring. So now the next few stitches that we're going to do is going to be working inside that ring. So you just kind of got to pull it just to kind of see where it is there. All right, so now sometimes a lot of the patterns call for you to chain 3 and then that counts as your first stitch. I'm not going to do a chain 3. I'm just going to start doing the double crochet. So I'm going to start off by doing 3 double crochets inside the ring. So that's 3. So after we do 3, then we need to chain 2. And then we're going to do 3 more double crochets. Okay, now we're going to chain 2 again. And we're going to do 3 more double crochets into that ring. Okay, 1 more. And then we're going to chain 2 again. And then we're going to finish off with 3 more double crochets inside that ring. Okay, so now we are going to slip stitch to bring this together. So you can see that we have this stitch here. So that's the stitch that I'm going to go into to do a slip stitch. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to work inside that spot there. So we're just going to start to do 3 double crochets into that same spot that we just slip stitched into. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2 and we're going to do 3 more double crochets in there. So that's creating a corner for us. And we're going to do that in each section around. See what I mean when we get to it. So is that 3? Yeah. Okay, so let's see how that kind of just formed a corner for us. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work into the chain 2 spaces that we did, and you can tell where they are because there's that big open gap there. We can also tighten that center into a little bit so that it's not such a big opening. It's probably about as tight as we'll get. Okay, so after we've done the last 3 double crochets, we're just gonna start doing 3 more double crochets. Okay, so we do need to create another corner, so we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 3 more double crochets. Okay, so now we've created our second corner. So now we're going to do our third corner. So again, 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space. And then we are going to do a chain 2. And then we're going to do 3 more double crochets into that space. Okay, so there is our third corner. So now we just need to finish this corner. So again, we're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2. We're going to do 3 more double crochets. Okay, so now that completes our 4 corners. So now what we need to do is we need to slip stitch into the top of that first chain that we did. Okay, so then that completes our square. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start working our way across. So we're going to work into this corner. So if you were to change colors, then you could just fasten this off and then start your new color into this chain space. So I try to get a little bit closer to that. So I'm just going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch just so it'll bring me a little bit closer to that chain 2 space in the corner. So again, we're just going to work our way across. I'm going to do this corner first. Whoops. We're going to do 3 double crochets. Starting to get dark. Okay. And then we're going to chain 2 because we're doing a corner. Okay, so there we've completed another corner. So we move to our next chain 2 space. So it's not a corner, so we will need to, all we need to do in this space is just do 3 double crochets. Okay, so now our next chain 2 space is going to be a corner again. So we will need to do the 3 double crochets. And then we need to chain 2. And then do 3 more double crochets into that chain 2 space to create the corner. Okay, so again, we have another chain 2 space here that's not in the corner, so we only need to do 3 double crochets. So now we are going to move into another corner. So we need to we need to do 3 double crochets. Getting ahead of myself. We need to do 3 double crochets, and then we are going to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets. Okay, so that's our third corner. So again, chain 2 space, not in the corner, so we only need to do 3 double crochets. We're almost done here. I think you guys should probably do get the concept now, but I'm gonna kind of walk through what the next row would look like when we get there. Okay, so now we're moving into the corner again. So we're gonna do 3 double crochets, and then we chain 2 so that it gives us our corner and it squares it off for us. That's why they call it a granny square. So the great thing about granny squares is that you can make like different, like you can start with a certain size. Like the one that I showed you at the beginning of the video, you could make some, you know, a bunch that size and then crochet them all together and you have yourself a blanket. The other thing too is that you can, with this pattern, you can just keep going around and around and around until you get the size that you want. So I mean, you could just as one big granny square, you could have a blanket. So a single granny square blanket. So it's kind of neat. I think it's a project that I'm thinking about maybe doing, because I don't generally tend to do a lot of big projects that might take a long time because I'm not a patient person. I like to, you know, do things that can work out quickly. But I don't know, I think it's really neat that you can just, you know, create this pattern and change colors as you go and, you know, make this nice blanket when you're done. So I think it's really neat. It's, you know, something that I think I'm going to start working on. My only the only other thing holding me back is picking the color. I can never decide what colors to go with. It's probably one of the hardest things for me is choosing colors and deciding what I should do. But yeah, so maybe you'll see some upcoming videos of me working away at this big granny square blanket. But anyways, let's keep continuing here because we're just about at the end. So in this last spot, again, it's just a typical, it's like a chain 2. So we want to do 3 double crochets into that space. As you could tell by the space that was there. And then we're going to do a slip stitch into, again, that little stitch that you see right there. That's generally what I work with. All right, so that has created another round. So that's all you do. So as you keep getting bigger, you're going to notice that you're going to have more chain 2 spaces where you just do 3 double crochets in those spaces. It's only in the corners, like you see here, where you need to do the 3 double crochet, then chain the 2 and then do 3 more double crochets to create your corner. So you just keep doing that around and around and around. So of course your corners are going to become farther and farther apart. But I mean, it's, I don't know, like it really squares off really nicely. Is the granny square? Of course, leave me any comments if you have any questions, you know, regarding it. If you want to, you know, see additional rows being done, I'd be happy to maybe do that in a short little clip that I could just quickly upload to Facebook. All right. Thank you for watching.